that the gates of heaven are opened and the gates of hell are closed, as Prophet Muhammad said in one of his hadiths. When someone fasts in the month of Ramadan with sincere faith, Muslims believe that he or she will be forgiven by Almighty Allah.
Ibi tí Al-Qur'ani ka parí sí ni wípé Ọlọ́run Ẹlẹ́dàá wa Aliman Qadiran gbọ́dọ̀ tóbi ọba onímọ̀ tó lè ṣe gbogbo nǹkan. Mufti wa ní Ogun State wọ́n máa kí ó túbà fún wa kótókè fún wa gbogbo akọ́sọ pé nínú ọlá ńlá pẹ̀lú dẹ̀ra lẹ́ ó máa wà títí láé. Máa wà títí láéláé. Nínú ọlá ńlá pẹ̀lú dẹ̀ra máa àfi ṣàdúrà fún gómìnà wa Al-Mufti Al-Khutbah.
Ẹ máa ṣàmì pé àdúrà ẹ náà sórí khutbah tó ń ṣe.
The gathering is still reading from the Holy Quran, and as we know, the event is the Ramadan special Iftar, coming to you from the arcade ground here in Okemoson, Abeokuta. Reading from the Holy Quran, still on, and this is the Gateway State. The official name is Ogun State. Created on the 3rd of February 1976. It was carved out of the old western state of Nigeria, named after the Ogun River, which runs across it from north to south. The state is strategically located, bordered to the east by Ondo State, in the north by Oyo and Osun states, in the south by Lagos State and the Atlantic Ocean, and in the west by Republic of Benin, which makes it an access route to the expensive markets of the Economic Community of the West African States, ECOWAS. Abeokuta, the capital and largest urban center, is about 90 kilometers from Lagos and 740 kilometers from Abuja, the capital of Nigeria. You may want to know that the primary occupation of the people is agriculture, and 80% of the people of the total land area is arable. The state has evergreen forest vegetation, and presently we'll continue with the special Iftar.
Module to be led by our Ustaz, Sheikh. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا الله صل على محمد صل على محمد صل على محمد اللهم يا ربي صل على محمد وسيد سادات النبي محمد نبينا سمو قدر بالعزم مرسل يحل به مسكان طفلا وينهل فإن وهو هلا وحكمل أمين لبرشاد العباد محمل حبيب بأسرار القلوب منابع صل على محمد صل على محمد يا ربي صل على محمد وسيد سادات نبي محمد علينا به من كل ذكر أمة الله دعنا به في ظل حمل وهزمة الله سباق من كل همة الله ولولا كان الباب يسبقه الكل الله صل على محمد صل على محمد اللهم يا ربي صل على محمد وسيد ساداتي نبي محمد التحيات إلا التحيات إلا التحيات إلا علوا إلا علوا إلا علوا إلا علوا إلا إلا هدايف الله محمد إلا خلف إلا محمد إلا إلا تحيات صلوات لله تحيات صلوات لله تحيات صلوات لله تحيات صلوات لله تحيات الله تحيات صلوات لله طيبات صلوات لله ṣoore tuntun ká tún lè rọpẹ́ dá. Ibi ò ṣe dé dákun wá padà. Ṣoore tuntun ká tún lè rọpẹ́ dá. Àmọ̀sùn ibi ò ṣe dé dákun wá padà. Ṣoore tuntun ká tún lè rọpẹ́ dá. Ibi ò ṣe dé dákun wá padà. Ṣoore tuntun. Alubarika alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin arrahmanir rahim maliki yawmiddin iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in اهدنا صراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in the course of this event, we have some other very important personalities joining us. I want to do a very quick recognition. Your Excellency, the State Judiciary is powerfully represented here today. It is my pleasure to recognize and welcome Honorable Justice J. Ogun, Honorable Justice O.H. Oyajimi, Mr. K.M. Peter, Secretary Judicial Service Commission, you are most welcome. Mrs. O.O. Stanley, the Chief Registrar of the State Judiciary, the Deputy Chief Registrars that are here, and all the magistrates from Ogun State Judiciary, you are all welcome. We want to also recognize and welcome service chiefs in Ogun State who are already seated here, chairmen of the 20 local governments of Ogun State and the 37 LCDA, they are all powerfully recognized here and welcome here. We also recognize the body of permanent secretaries, general managers of public corporation. You are all welcome. Your Excellency, I want to recognize you, most welcome, sir. And of course, the worldwide president of NASFAT, Engineer Kamil Yomi Bolaniwa, you're welcome. Member National Health Council of NASFAT, Alaji Remi Bello FCA, you are recognized and welcome. And of course, the Chief Medical Director of Federal Medical Center, Abeokuta, Professor Musa Olomu. Not forgetting CP Balogun retired and all the other distinguished guests, you are most welcome. We also have former Head of Service of Ogun State. You are welcome, sir.
Takbir. Every year, we always have new topics to address the challenges facing our nation and our state. Today, inshallah, the theme of our lecture is equity, fairness, and justice, the role of Muslims in national integration. To do justice to this lecture, we have the honor and pleasure of an elder scholar in our midst, and I'm going to I humbly request the guest lecturer to please stand and remain standing. Sir. This is a brief citation of Oloyede Abdulrahman, a seasoned scholar and Islamic teacher of no means standing. Professor Muftau Oloyede Abdulrahman is from the Department of Arabic and Islamic Studies, University of Ibadan, Oyo State, Nigeria. He holds a doctorate degree, PhD, in Arabic and Islamic Studies, Masters of Arts in Arabic and Islamic Studies, and Bachelor of Arts in Arabic Language and Literature with a second-class upper, all from the University of Ibadan in 1983 and 1981, respectively. Our distinguished lecturer of today, a professor of Arabic and Islamic Studies, has teaching and administrative experience spanning about 10 years. He is currently the chief imam of the University of Ibadan Central Mosque, a position he has been holding since 2006. He is also a member of the university's interreligious committee, as well as its anti-cultism campaign committee, among several others. Professor Abdul Rahman belongs to several learned societies, among which are the Nigerian Association of Teachers of Arabic and Islamic Studies, British Society for Middle Eastern Studies, and Nigerian Association for the Study of Religion. He has several published books and has contributed articles and chapters to publications. 55-year-old Professor Abdul Rahman hails from Alaro compound, Ileogo in Ayedere local government area of Osun State. Your Excellencies, our fathers and mothers in Islam, distinguished Islamic scholars, brothers and sisters, I here present to you our lecturer for today, Professor Iftar Oloyede Abdul Rahman. Everyone should be takbir.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحابه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الحساب أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن سيدنا محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فالسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I seek Allah's protection against shaitan the accursed. And I begin in the mighty name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Your Excellency, the Governor of Ogun State, I crave your indulgence to present this lecture briefly in English, then a little summary in Yoruba. In less than 3 years today, this will be the 4th time I will be asked to deliver a lecture on the role of religion or the role of Islam in national development or national integration. It is an expectation that religion, being dominant feature of our Nigerianness, should have the capacity to shape our actions, thoughts, and worldview. We are so religious to the extent that Nigeria boasts of leaders of some world's largest religious sects. Nigeria also boasts of the world's richest religious leaders. Our cities and villages are adorned with worship centers of the two dominant religions, Islam and Christianity. A branch of traditional religion, Ifa or Romila, has a Nigerian as its world chief priest in person of Professor Wande Abimbola. Apparently, in recognition of this, Reverend Matthew Kuka opened a treatise he wrote on religion, politics, and power in northern Nigeria with the following statement, and I quote, "If St. Paul were to walk any part of Nigeria today, he would probably say about them what he said to the Athenians, namely, I perceive in every way that you are a very religious people. That you are a very religious people." That is Hassan Kuka, 1993, page 10. Alas, it is an expectation seemingly unfulfilled. Islam and Christianity are today straddled across our national space, seeking to outpace one another in national polity. The topic of today's lecture, though very troubling, captures our national predicament. It paints the picture of a nation still in search of integration. By dictionary meaning, Integration is where people become part of a group of society and are accepted by them. Nigeria will be 59 years in October, and here we are gathered searching for ways by which religion, Islam in particular, can foster genuine integration among tribes and groups in Nigeria. Clearly, a nation of a half century of political independence still searching for integration is really a troubled nation. What can be a confirmation of this than what President Muhammadu Buhari said when he appealed to Nigerians, in particular the people of Benue State last year, that they should accommodate and tolerate fellow Nigerians. He made a passionate appeal on the heels of state of Islam in particular play in our effort for national integration. Nigeria is a multi-religious society, and religion plays a remarkable role in our social and political setup. Integration and development can take place only in a peaceful atmosphere, and a peaceful atmosphere can only exist in a society pegged and entrenched in high moral and religious motivation. If anything, when we celebrate our independence anniversaries, we often go to churches and mosques. Our political setup has always been tainted with religious undertones. The societal setup is also enshrouded in religious rivalry between the two major religions, Islam and Christianity. The major challenge that I can identify in our search for national integration is the fact that the Western concept of secular state, which Nigeria subscribe to, gives religion no place in determining policies relating to science and technology, as well in determining what kind of constitution Nigeria adopts. According to that Western concept of secular state, science, technology are matters that do not belong to the realm of religion. Thus, secularism has become a sinister, though convenient mechanism to blackmail Muslims and to impede the progress of Islam, and a gimmick often orchestrated to deny Muslims their rights in Nigeria. Human life has inherent problems that cannot be solved without the guidance rooted in religion. When the purpose of true religion is carefully examined, it will be discovered that religion satisfies the spiritual and moderate material needs of man. Religion unites man's psychological knots and complexity. It sublimates man's instincts and aspirations, and disciplines his desires and the whole course of his life. Religion improves his knowledge of God, the highest truth in the universe. Religion also teaches man about good and evil, about right and wrong. True religion educates man and trains him in hope and patience, in truthfulness and honesty. Secularism, however, cannot lead man to any glorious end. If its definition by Harry Antonis, a Canadian sociologist, is something to go by, it defines secularism as the belief that man is autonomous, able to find his own way in the world, well guided by reason and assisted by science and technology. End of quote. This certainly cannot be totally correct, as the three phenomena referred to in its definition has been adequate for man's need, that is reason, science and technology, are inadequate to answer all that man needs in life. The scientific method of obtaining knowledge consists of observation, experiment, and of course, they are not error-proof. Every observation is made up of three factors: the observer, the object which is being observed, and conditions under which observation is made. If we carefully examine these three factors, we will see that they are variables and not permanently stable. Therefore, different observation can vary on the basis of many factors. Yes, observation is the basis of the tools believed by secularists as all that man needs to find his way on earth. What philosophy, science, and technology cannot factually answer are well answered in Islam or by Islam. Islam not only answers them in detail, it also gives graphic description of nations and civilizations that have gone, and it affirmed at the end of man will come. The Lord giver, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Quran, states clearly the journey of man from non-existence to existence and his sojourn here on earth and what will follow after the earthly journey. Allah says in the Quran, and I quote, Walaqad khalaqna 16. And indeed, we created man of an extract of clay. Then we made him a drop of semen, firmly fixed in a safe lodging. Then we made semen into a clot, a piece of thick blood. Then we made the clot into a little lump of flesh. Then we made out of the little lump of flesh bones. Then we clothed the bones with flesh. And then we brought it forth as another creation. So blessed be Allah, the best of creators. Then after that, you will most surely die. Then surely on the day of resurrection, you will be raised again. This ayah of Al-Quran affirms or illustrates the journey of man from the womb of his mother to Mother Earth. And for your information, at the time this ayah was being revealed to Prophet Muhammad, the immediate recipients did not have knowledge of what Allah is saying here. Where Allah is talking about embryology, the science had not come to explain it to the immediate people who listen to Muhammad reciting Allah's word. It is around 15th century or 16th century when the knowledge of embryology started that science came to confirm what Allah said. That truly human being started his journey from a clot, from a semen changed to clot changed to a lump of flesh, lump of flesh changed to another creation. Now, because science has come to confirm all this, we now believe, oh, that is true. What Allah said is true. But at the end of that ayah, Allah says, after you're living on earth, you shall die. Human beings believe that also because we have seen people die around us. But the problem now is that ayah says, you will thereafter, after death, you shall be raised up. That is where human beings begin this problem. We start doubting Allah that we are going to be raised up. And all Allah said in the Quran that on that day will happen, we are doubting him. That's the beginning of our problem. But let me go further. What I'm saying here is that Islam has given answers to all man needs to live this life. Now, how will I relate that to national integration? If integration is defined as acceptance of the group of a people within the group they find themselves, what then are the main issues militating against integration in the Nigerian project? I go back to Reverend Father Kuka. He identified religion as the main factor in the Nigerian political equation. Although Father Kuka concentrates on northern Nigeria in his book, Allah mentioned, his conclusion that the North, since independence, has always determined the direction of politics in Nigeria is to say in effect that what determines northern politics affects all other regions. Although he writes like an aggrieved person, he nonetheless was able to dig deeper with eyewitness accounts in that book of how and why of political maneuverings in the North. He says, and I quote him, from page Roman Cont'D of his book, Religion, Politics and Power, Northern Nigeria. I quote him now. He says, the ascendancy of Hausa Fulani hegemony has coincided with the alienation and marginalization of non-Muslims, Christian and adherents of traditional religion in the region, that is in the North. Although the predicament of the non-Muslim predated colonialism, post-colonial politics education, Western modernization and Christianity have made non-Muslims ask themselves questions relating to their position within the region and as a people. Many people will seem to have come to the conclusion that since religion has been a major factor in determining the staying power of the Muslim, it has become imperative for Christians now to use religion for achieving their social political activities. And the place of religion in the political process are being redefined as a means of dealing with this new political reality. It is curious that Father Kuka forgot to mention throughout the book that Christians are in a minority group in the northern Nigeria. And as long as democracy is retained as the means of political participation, so long the northern Muslims will have ascendancy. We can now see clearly that attempts by the Christian North to use religion for achieving socio-political activity is perhaps the unseen hand in the perennial inter-ethnic, inter-religious crisis in the North. In effect, this is the main factor of Nigeria's inability to attain national integration. Southwest of Nigeria presents another dimension to political repression on account of religion. Unlike northern Nigeria, where Christians are in minority, Muslims predominate the population of Southwest, yet they are marginalized this morning. In the run-up to independence, Nigeria was divided to three regions, North, West, and East. Consequently, there emerged political parties along regional and ethnic lines. Among these was Action Group, formed on the hills of Ogun, with Chief Obafemi Awolowo as its leader. Consequently, that party formed the first self-rule government in the Southwest. Its policy of appointment to political office was skewed in favor of Christians, owing largely to their impressive acquisition of secular education. The Muslims who constitute majority of the inhabitants of the region were and are still made to struggle for equitable allocation of political appointment till this morning. It was realized that the only way Muslims could have access to political power was to form political parties. Prominent among the Muslim parties formed at that time were the United Muslim Party, based in Lagos, National Muslim Party in Ibadan. There were others like Muslim Welfare Association and later United Muslim Party. The Action Group government perceived a grave threat to its position should this party succeed in view of the numerical strength of Muslims in the region. Although the objectives of forming a government by a Muslim party did not consolidating the Muslim hostilities to the AG government, which have been a factor in the defeat of the AG candidates in 16 federal constituencies in Yoruba land, and 1/3 of the total number of Yoruba constituencies in Western Nigeria. In contrast to what obtained in Northern Nigeria, where Christians attempt to use religion for achieving their socio-political activities, led to strife and ethnic disharmony, the Southwest Muslim majority still maintain peaceful coexistence. Now, to have genuine national integration, Muslims of the Southwest have to be duly recognized. Another goal now to give us the model or how to achieve national integration from the life pattern of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam while in Mecca, in Medina. The hijrah of Prophet Muhammad provided humankind with ample precepts in state formation and national integration. The type never witnessed in history. Having jettisoned the idea of monarchical rule, as he himself neither ruled like a king nor assumed the kingship status, it is fair to conclude that autocracy or monarchy was not the type of government approved by Islam. Even though we find them around the Arab world, but that is not an approved system of government in Islam. In his teachings and precepts, Prophet Muhammad demonstrated that Allah is the ruler of the world. His law is supreme, while man is Khalifa, that is Fajiret. And out of the human species, Allah appoints rulers and judges to administer the affairs of men. Having cemented the relationship between Medina people and those who migrate to Medina, for us to have genuine integration, tribes must accept themselves. Tribes must respect one another, and tribes must accord each of the constituents in the nation their due rights. This is what Prophet Muhammad did while in Medina. The contemporary world is therefore indebted to Prophet Muhammad for the non-aggression pact is signed before the ethnic nationalities in Medina. The pact has come to be known as Medina Constitution. 2 points are instructive to Nigeria's quest for integration in this constitution packaged by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. First, the Prophet caused a sovereign national conference to be convened. There, all the ethnic nationalities in Medina agree on how to live together. For many nations of the world, where ethnic and religious militancy is blocking their peaceful coexistence, the Prophet's example here will be enough a guide for them. Second, his manner of packaging the constitution gave him out as a person not willing to force any group to renounce its identity, be it religious or tribal. Many nations are caught in the web of violent militancy, got to that solid state due mainly to non-adherence to that prophetic example. In most of the colonial design, the intention was to weaken the cause of harmonious coexistence in the colonial territories, so as to pave the way for recolonization in case inter-ethnic or inter-religious wars break out. Britain and France, as colonial powers, partitioned most of their past colonies in a way that weighed grossly in favor of Christian against Muslim. In those lands, the colonial policies in Palestine, Lebanon, India, Kashmir are good examples for us to know. We may, for the purpose of elucidation, highlight just 5 of the clauses in the Medina Constitution package by Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. 1. The Constitution confirming the Jews and Christians in the practice of their religions and in secure possession of their property. That was guaranteed in that Constitution. That every group in Medina shall remain within his or her religion, and nobody should force any group to accept others' religion. So you shall be protected, you shall be allowed to practice your. That was the first clause in that Constitution. The second one, the Constitution says that the disputes of each tribe were to be decided according to its own law and customs. That was placed. If a group among the Jews had misunderstanding, they will resolve their misunderstanding according to Jewish law and tradition. If Muslim group had problem, they will resolve it according to their Quran. That was in that Constitution. Number 3, it says that no party to this agreement, to this Constitution, whether Muslims, Jew or Christian, will enter into any treaty with anybody outside this Medina, so as to forestall betrayal. Number 4, that consensus, if the Jews and Christians will make peace with another party, the Muslims will accept the agreement and vice versa. And finally, that all matters in dispute will be decided finally by the Prophet himself. So that allows cohesion and integration to be possible in Medina until the Jews broke that constitution. When they broke the constitution, then the Rasulullah convened another sovereign conference that here is it, the Jews have broken the constitution. What do we do? And they were asked to leave Medina because it appears they can never live within an organized society. Thus, they were allowed to leave Medina, and they left. So, I remain the Muslim, the Christian, and non-believers. So, the revolution of Medina Constitution is so important that it has given the modern world ingredients for national cohesion and national integration. What makes Islam a unique way of life is the uniqueness of Prophet Muhammad's personality, which was derived from the uniqueness of the Quran. I term the prophetic methodology of solving religious that were enunciated after his hijrah as a revolution, because it has never been theorized or practicalized in human history before him. Political scientists and sociologists may wish to refer us to Plato's theoretical postulation of how an ideal republic should look like. We should not forget that Plato's Republic, the title of the work he wrote, as he entitled his work, was an hypothesis and at best a recommendation for the rulers of his time. Again, the great Plato lived all his life under the Athenian imperial rule, far from the idea of a democratic state. In actual fact, both Plato and his teacher Socrates were never active players in the imperial government of Athens, nor in the Spartan rule that overthrew it later. For us to appreciate the uniqueness of Prophet Muhammad's revolution in political theory, the following quotation about the Republic of Plato summarizes the focus of his theory. Plato says, it is said, in his youth, Plato became closely attached to Socrates, who by that time was wholly attached to his fellow citizens. Under this influence, Plato's thoughts from first to last was chiefly bent on the question of how society could be reshaped so that man might realize the best in him. That shows us that what Plato wrote was a recommendation for people around him, which were never practicalized until Rasulullah put in place what you could consider a democracy, so to say, if that word is acceptable. Even though it wasn't that really democratic, but it gives every constituent a say in how the nation is run. Islam sees democracy as a mechanism to tend the lives of others for overall good of the nation. As a head of state, Prophet Muhammad never imposed any policy on the people without input from his disciples, except such a policy came as a divine revelation. A practical example was the Battle of Khandaq. The Quraysh decided to make an end to the Muslim community in Medina once and for all. History records that the troop of the infidels was numbering 10,000 plus, well armed, marching on Medina to put end to Muhammad and all his people. Of these 4,000 were Quraysh, while the remainder consisted of contingents from other allied Arab tribes. The Jews tribe compounded the problem for Muslims as they entered into secret pact with Quraysh confederation. The news of the formidable army took consternation in Medina. Prophet Muhammad had to consult his council of Sahaba on the best way to face this army, the well-armed soldiers coming. In 6 days, it was the suggestion of a new convert to Islam, Salman al-Farisi, a Persian, that carried the day. This Persian convert suggested that since the coming army are that formidable and well-armed, and here we are, scanty without ammunition, the best way to confront this war is for us to dig trench around Medina so that they will not be able to cross. If they attempt to cross, few of us will be able to shoot them down. So in 6 days, the trench 15 feet deep and several feet wide was dug to prevent the town from being taken by assault. The Quraysh, however, laid siege on Medina for 20 days until a violent storm swept across their tent and they were dispersed in disarray. The point here is that the democracy of Islam is about protecting the interests of the weak against the oppression of the strong, and about securing the lives of citizenry. The revolution of the Medina Constitution would be better highlighted if we apply the 5 clauses itemized earlier for specific issues in national integration. The prophets confirming the Jews and Christians the practice of that faith. Today in the Southwest, it is becoming problematic for Muslim women to adopt hijab. You must have seen how hijab is causing crisis all over. As if when Muslims put on their hijab, other people will suffer headache. I begin to wonder whether if my child put on hijab, your own son will catch headache. So why would that be trouble? If everybody wants to put on anything, let them put it. That's how to secure national integration. You are not assisting serious national integration. You can see from Medina Constitution that every religious group was allowed to remain in its region, in its tradition and custom. Internationally, disputes and problems related to Muslim war have been deliberately ignored due to the fact that their resolution was deemed not to be in the interest of the global players or their allies. This shows that religion makes a difference in how issues are perceived and ultimately dealt with. Religion is today a major factor in global politics, not in the sense of spirituality, but in terms of dividing global alliances along ideological lines. Before specific global issues are analyzed, it is apt to recall another clause in that constitution of Medina. It says, no party to this agreement, Muslim, Jews or Christians, will enter into any pact with any outside tribe. And that if Jews will make peace with another party, then Muslims will accept that agreement. This is important for us because when Nigeria joined OIC, we know the Hula Bado and the trouble we had to face before Allah subdued that body. So if the Muslims choose to ally their fellow Muslims across the border and for the interest of the nation, why should that be a problem? The present government attempted when it needed money seriously, and in particular this government needed a loan with soft interest, without interest. Then the government went for IDP, International Islamic Development Bank. The people began to cry. So when the money was given, the roads made from that money, will it be used only by Muslims? The money made from that loan to construct railway, will it be used only by Muslims? It's for all of us. Therefore, whatever the beneficial to Nigeria, any group can go along and bring it for us so as to live bountiful life. That's how to get national integration. But when you say because the Muslim is pursuing this, we don't want it, Whether it's good or not, we don't want it. Why should you not want money when you don't have? And the Muslim said they will loan you money. I say no, because the money has tribal line or has religious mark. That is a failure. The Medina Constitution emphasized the Prophet's ultimate desire for peaceful coexistence among the tribes and religion. From the perspective of the Medina Constitution, we cannot take for sampling the cases of some Muslim territories still suffering under the weight of war power injustice. In 1947, India occupied the states. The states claiming that a session, okay, I jumped some paragraph to make it easier. Okay, let me go. In 1947, India occupied the state of Kashmir, claiming that a section of Jammu and Kashmir had just decided to join India. There is no reason for any part to want to join India, as Muslims constitute 80% of the population of Kashmir. And the language they say are the ones spoken in Pakistan. Muslim people of the Kashmir territory opposed India occupation, with Pakistan protested to the United Nations. The Security Council decided that a plebiscite be held to determine the national affiliation and future course of the state of Jammu and Kashmir. India has since refused to let go the state of Kashmir. Another Muslim people suffering under the crushing weight of world power politics is Palestine. The roots of the present dispute in Middle East can be traced to the forced partition of Palestine to give way for the creation of State of Israel in 1948. And next part, in Palestinian history declare, and I quote him, the creation of Jewish Israel in Arab Palestine was by all accounts the most bizarre exploit of 20th century diplomacy. It has since 1948 blighted the lives of millions, Arabs and Jews alike, and haunted the conscience of the world community. So what I'm trying to say here is that today, religion has become a factor even in global politics. Not in the way they practice, but the way it shapes what the global power does. So, but in our own case here, since Nigerians profess religion generally, we could use teachings of religion to shape our life. Do not call it Islamic, call it anything, but adapt from what Islam has prescribed to shape our life. We will live in peace. And that is what Medina Constitution I've just cited. For us to see how it was possible for Muslims to live harmoniously with non-Muslims in Medina. To conclude, the world would have been saved of the trauma it currently experiences and the powers in global policies. And Nigeria resorted to the letter and spirit of Medina Constitution. I'm now praying to Almighty Allah that people of understanding, like the current government here, our government here, will be the people who will cut short when presidency comes to Southwest. I pray Almighty Allah, because this lecture will not be beneficial, will not be used to him as his free life of his regime. But I pray Almighty Allah that in 2023, when the struggle will be made for the occupant of Asoro, it shall be crowned to be able to put into practice all I've said here. Say Amen. I don't want it. Say Amen. May Allah grant it. It's about the only courageous government you have around here. So you better pray that is make it so as to give Nigeria real integration. Ultimately, we need tí ìlú kan bá ń tọ́ tí àwọn ẹlẹ́yà tí ń bá ń bí òkú ara lọ kí wọ́n yí ara wọn wò. Ohun tí ò jẹ́ wọn para ni pé àìgbà oníkálukú kọ́lọ́ bá ṣe bá wọn. Inú Islam ń kìlọ̀ fún ṣẹlá Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam wípé kó fún oníkálukú rẹ̀ láàyè ẹ̀ àríjà ni mùsùlùmí kí wọ́n lè láàyè wọn. Ọlọ́run tún wípé pé wàhálà tẹ̀síbù lásìkò ìdúró lè dúró nílà. Mọ́ bu àwọn tí wọ́n ń pè ní Ọlọ́run bílẹ̀ ẹ̀kọ́ àwọn náà bu Ọlọ́run tiẹ̀. So ẹ̀kọ́ yìí ni àdébí fi kọ́ àwọn mùsùlùmí. Iná tó fẹ́ gbà tí àwọn mùsùlùmí kúrò Mẹ́kà lọ Mẹdínà. Àwọn tí wọ́n bá Mẹdínà ẹlẹ́gbọ́n bẹ́ẹ̀ mùsùlùmí díẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ àwọn ni wọ́n pàdé kò mọ̀ wá. Àwọn Júù bẹ́ẹ̀ kìrìsìtẹ́nì bẹ́ẹ̀. But internet ṣe ni pé ẹjẹ́ aṣòfin ká lè jẹ ọ̀gbẹ́ ní àlàáfíà. Òfin yẹn tó wà ń bẹ̀ pọ̀ àmọ́ mo wá mú mẹ́rin péré bẹ̀. Èkìrí ní òfin ẹni pé wọ́n kọ́ ọ́ lẹ̀ wípé gbogbo àwọn táwọn Mẹdínà yìí o mùsùlùmí wa ẹlẹ́bọ wa kìrìsìtẹ́nì wa Júù wa á jọ̀wọ́ jẹ́ ọmọ ìlú Mẹdínà wọn láwọn fọwọ́ sí. Nọ́mbà 2, ẹnikẹ́ni nínú wa tájọ jẹ́ ọmọ ìlú yìí á gbọ́dọ̀ gbàgbọ́dọ̀ fún ìlú yìí o wọn láwọn fọwọ́ sí. Ẹ̀kẹta, gbogbo ẹnikẹ́ni nínú wa tó jẹ́ ẹlẹ́sìn yóò mọ ẹsẹ̀ sí ẹ̀ wọ́n bá ṣe yé e mọ ìjà bá ṣẹlẹ̀ láàrin wọn yóò bọ̀wọ̀ sí wọn ni wọ́n fi parí ẹ̀ wọn láwọn fọwọ́ sí i. ẹ̀kẹ́rin agbọ́dọ̀ lẹ́yìn tí ó mọ parí ìjà bí ìran méjì bá jà ta ni ká yàn o wọ́n ní ìwọ náà ní ká yàn wọ́n bá yàn ló jẹ́ pé bọ́ọ̀rọ̀ bá dàrú ó ní wọ́n lọ ìkọ́ parí ẹ̀. náà àwọn tí wọ́n ń àwọn ọmọ Islam bí àmọ́bìnrin àwọn ojú kò ní Mẹ̀dínà.
Having defined the keywords in the theme, equity, fairness, justice, religion, and national integration, he identified the role of religion, especially Islam, in national integration. He said religion should promote national integration, that a nation, though striving to integrate, is really a troubled nation. Man's existence, he emphasized, is not complete without religion, which is the foundation of whatever transpires within a society. Nigeria as a country is an example of unity in diversity, and he maintained that everyone should respect one another's religion and values, cultures, and belief. He is presently calling on everyone to remain united and one, irrespective of the religion. But for Nigeria to remain one indivisible nation, every individual must contribute his or her quota by remaining one and ensuring that no one promotes violence.
Ọ̀rọ̀ pé ọmọ bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ ìjà inú di wàhálà yìí ẹ̀ka rẹ̀ tọ́mọ tèmi bá wọ ìjà sórí òfò ọmọ ti yín ni tọ́mọ tèmi bá wọ ìjà ṣé inú òòrùn ọmọ ti yín ni ṣé ó sì di wàhálà ìtẹ́sí tèmi bà nìyẹn ká para wa bí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ kò lè sí national integration náà sọ̀rọ̀ yìí. àtàlálẹ̀ mo rí fáàsì àbá àpáàdì kúkà tó sọ wípé òun ló.
As it continues, let us listen to Ayinla. Ayinla, what have you got to say about the lecture?
Yes, as we can see, the lecture is promoting national unity, and the guest lecturer had talked about the president and his efforts at promoting national integration, especially with some of the projects that he has embarked upon, like the National Railroad project. And he's going to mention a lot too of other nations of the world that we can, learn from, like the experience of India and Pakistani, how Muslim Ummah in this country had brought about national integration amongst themselves.
Gómìnà wa gbẹ́sùn lọ lókè lọ́ọ̀ sẹ́nẹ̀tì ọlọ́mọba àdó tí wọ́n bá a ṣàánú wọn. Tó bá di ìgbà tí ìjọba yìí wá kàn wá ní south west ọlọ́mọba àkàyìn yẹn ọlọ́lá haúlà wọ́lá kò wájà ilà bìlá ìlà àbí ìlà sí sọ́lá ọdún kẹ. Takbir! Takbir! Ẹ̀dá àkọ́wọ́ tó fi dé lọ́kọ̀ sí lọ́kọ́líjà kúnlẹ̀ ìlàfì. Ọlọ́run máṣá jẹ́ kẹ́mi bàbá yìí gùn pẹ̀lú àlàáfíà tó pọ̀. Ẹ bá kà jẹ́jẹ́. We thank our elder scholar, our good professor, Islamic scholar, for that wonderful piece of lecture. Inshallah, it will not be the last we are going to present to mankind. Amen. Your Excellencies, distinguished brothers and sisters in Islam, our three Khalifas here present, we would like to go into the next session of this special iftar for the Muslims and even the non-Muslims in Ogun State and by extension the entire part of Nigeria, for those who are present. I would like to invite for prayers
as follows. Prayer for His Excellency Senator Ibikule Amosun, CON FCA. Ẹni tó máa bá wa ṣe àdúrà fún bàbá wa, gómìnà wa olóríire, gómìnà tó wá kó fi ipò lẹ̀ mọ́, ṣùgbọ́n a mọ̀ pé wọ́n tún lọ bí gíga míì. Bàbá wa, the chief imam gbogbo ilẹ̀ Rẹ́mọ lápapọ̀, gbogbo ẹni tá bá ti fún ṣe, please stick to the exact prayer. The chief imam of Rẹ́mọ. After your Sheikh sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Amen. Amen. ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. Takbir. The next prayer session will be led by the chief imam of Ijebuland, and that is for Ogun State. We have always been known for goodness. Ogun State has been rewarded with a lot of accolades. Baba, láti Rẹ́mọ, Bismillah. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Amen. 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 بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. The last but not the least in the list of the prayer session, we are going to have prayer for our nation. The Holy Prophet Muhammad said, the love of one's nation is part of religion. Ànábì wa Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam ó ní ká ṣíká nífẹ̀ẹ́ orílẹ̀-èdè ẹni ara ìgbàgbọ́ ni. Bàbá wa tí ó wá ṣe àdúrà fún Nàìjíríà is the chief imam from Yewa land, Dr. Yasir. Alhamdulillah. Before we go to good messages, His Excellency is a lover of children. Year in, year out, he has always been encouraging that we bring in our children from NASFAT, National Life Party Society of Nigeria. Within 2 minutes, let us have the presentation of the children, our children, from NASFAT. Within 2 minutes, please come up. Please come up.
Islam sab'atun. Love in Islam is divided in 7 parts. Ọ̀nà méje ni ìfẹ́ pín sí nínú Islam. Hubbullahi ta'ala wa rasulihi. Love of Allah and His Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Nínífẹ̀ẹ́ Ọlọ́run àti òjíṣẹ́ rẹ̀ Ànábì wa Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Hubbu shari'ullahi ta'ala. Love of Allah's law. Nínífẹ̀ẹ́ sí òfin Ọlọ́run. Hubbu ikhwani. Love of your fellow Muslim brothers and sisters. Nínífẹ̀ẹ́ sí ọmọ ìyá rẹ nínú ẹ̀sìn Islam. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى يحب لأخيه ما يحب لنفسه. You are not a mu'min except to love your brethren, brothers and sisters in Islam, the love you have for yourself. Hubbu zawju wa zawjati. Love between spouse, husband and wife. Ìfẹ́ láàrin ọkọ àti aya. Hubbu kauladi. Love of children. Ìfẹ́ sí ọmọ. Hubbu man and someone lahu sha'nun minal aqaribi. Love of parents and trustworthy guardians. Nínífẹ̀ẹ́ sí àwọn ẹbí àti òbí tó nífẹ̀ẹ́ wa. Hubbu liwatani. Love of one's country and state. Nínífẹ̀ẹ́ orílẹ̀-èdè àti ìlú wa. All these qualities are seen in our father, mentor, leader, senator, Iklim, Ibikule, Amos. Nípa àpẹẹrẹ tá a kọ́ ilẹ̀ bàbá wa olólùfẹ́ wa síwájú wa sẹ́nitọ́ Iklim, Ibikule, Amos Ìlàjà, ìlàlẹ̀ àmọ́ ìṣàlá. Èyí ìgbéko lápọ̀lọpọ̀, àlàáfíà lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀, àyíké lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀. Bíbo àṣírí lápọ̀lọpọ̀, Olúwa dákun ṣe fún bàbá wa. Ẹ̀rí gígùn lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀, àlàáfíà lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀, àríṣìkí lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀, bíbo àṣírí lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀, Olúwa dákun ṣe fún bàbá wa.
Thank you very much, children. Jazakumullahu khairan. Jazakumullahu khairan. Thank you very much. We are proud of you. You are good ambassadors of our state. We are proud as your parents. Takbir. We will not be able to take the next one, and that is from the Muslim Corporate Association of Nigeria, those who are serving in Ogun State. They are also saying that they are appreciating His Excellency since they came to see a lot of good things. Thereafter, let them submit their letter to Mr. Governor for him to know that they actually came here and he is really appreciating them. Okay, obviously I should give them 2 minutes. The amount of Muslims, you won't be able to read what you have. Just say it in just 1 minute. 1 minute. The corpus from serving in this state, all over the Federation of Nigeria. Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. All praises, adoration, genuflection, and appreciation belong to Almighty Allah, the Lord of the universe, the uncreated creator of all creatures. We adore Him, we beseech His infinite mercy and blessing upon the noblest of all mankind, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, His household, His companions, and those who follow His straight path to the day of judgment. I acknowledge our Creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I would like to recognize and shower an unbeatable encomium on the Nagara citizen of this gateway state, His Excellency Senator Ibikule Amosu, CEO FCA, a great leader by excellence, a transformational leadership which is footprint of preeminence in this gateway state has been engraved into the indelible part of the heart of the gateway, indigent and non-indigent. His Excellency, sir, I will acknowledge His Excellency. And also, it will be a great mistake on my part if I fail to recognize the list of Imam here present and our first here present. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Subhanaka wa bihamdik. Nashhadu an la ilaha illa ant. Nastaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Jazakumullahu khairan, sir. Takbir. Thank you very much for your appreciation.
Thank you very much. We'll be going to the goodwill messages and we quickly recognize the presence of Iyamidi Alaba-Losin in our midst. Thank you very much. Starting for the goodwill messages here this evening, I would like to invite Kabiyesi, the Onírúurú of Irolu Oba Sikirulai Adeiga. Kabiyesi, Onírúurú of Irolu Oba Sikirulai Adeiga. And also Kabiyesi Onídọ̀bọ̀ of Ìdọ̀bọ̀ Oba Saheed Olubiyi. We'd like them to be here. And we have just 2 minutes for these goodwill messages. Thank you very much.
Ogun State tí wọ́n fi sílẹ̀ yìí ó dáa ju bí tí wọ́n ti bá a lọ. Adúpẹ́ fún Ọlọ́run, Ọlọ́run ìjọ burú fún yín o. Iwájú iwájú lọ́pàá ìfìtì màmá rẹ̀ sí o. Wọ́n rà fún àná mọ̀ǹká náà lóye.
Hello. Sọlá Nàbílẹ̀ Karim sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Tó gómìnà wa olóríire. Ẹni tí ayé ń fẹ́ tọ̀run ń kọ̀ báyìí àtúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín. Ọlọ́run tó ṣe yín débi tẹ́ gbé wà yìí ní dáadáa kò ní padà sí yín sí àyídá. Lágbára Ọlọ́run, lágbára bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń ṣe fún ọmọdé tẹ́ ń ṣe fágbàlagbà tẹ́ ń ṣe kárí ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn ọlá yín á máa lọ sókè ni. Ibi tẹ́ tún wá ń lọ náà báyìí ní Àbújá ayé á máa nífẹ̀ẹ́ yín níbẹ̀ ni. Lágbára Ọlọ́run, lágbára àtìlẹ́yìn ànábì. Tẹ́ bá ti ń dé Àbújá báyìí, ẹ máa rí ojú rere Ọlọ́run ni, ẹ máa rí ojú rere pírẹsidẹ́ǹtì ni. Lágbára Ọlọ́run, bẹ́ẹ̀ ló ṣe máa rí ọlá iná àtàyìnà. Bismillahi Rahmani Rahim. Iná àtàyìnà kálíkà òzára. Wàsálì ilé ràbíkà wá ní àrí. Iná sàlẹ̀ àkàhùwà làbútàrí. Sọ́lẹ̀ ànàbí olùkàlẹ̀. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Thank you very much. May I also quickly invite the Sultan of Ogun Kingdom, Alhaji M. Ola Yusuf, to also come out for a goodwill message, and as well His Excellency Navy Captain Rashid Raji, the Babajini of Egbaland. Please, strictly 120 seconds because of our time. Thank you very much, sir.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. سبحان الله الحمد لله ولا إله إلا الله والله أكبر ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. Adúpẹ́ Ọlọ́run ọba tó jáde wá ní kí àìjẹ́ kankan. Adúpẹ́ nínú àǹfààní fún gómìnà wa Ìbòjú Amúsùn àti ìyàwó wọn. Bí wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ pẹ̀lú bísímìlá, wọ́n dẹ̀ parí ẹ̀ pẹ̀lú alhamdulilayi. Tí ìgbà make mistake, mo rò pé ẹ̀yin lẹ́nu ajẹ́ the first Muslim governor tó máa rule Ogun State. And you are laying on parallel legacy, which we pray to God that others coming behind you may grasp of us, to meet it or meet it. We are proud of you, but Ọlọ́run á wà pẹ̀lú yín. Ibi tẹ́ ẹ̀ lọ, bẹ́ẹ̀ èmi dá fún yín. Àdúrà wa ní pé lágbára Ọlọ́run, àdàpọ̀ ṣùṣà wà ní, àdàpọ̀ láàdàdà Muhammad, ọ̀la àdá jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ, àdàkà bísímìlà iná àti iná. Sọlá náà àti iná àkàlùkà ọ̀zára, ẹ̀sẹ̀ lè rí ìrọ̀bìkà wọlé, iná ṣọ́ ayé àgbàpọ̀ lẹ́tà.
You are still on to telecast of Ogun State 2019 Special Iftar on the largest TV network of Sub-Saharan Africa, the NTA. What we are on to at this moment are goodwill messages from traditional rulers and chieftains from different communities in Ogun State. And speakers have been drawn from different areas of the state, from Ijebuland, from Abeokuta, from Yewa. You have a list of speakers giving goodwill messages on this occasion.
Thank you, sir. The world president of NAFSTAT, Alhaji Engineer Kabir Bolarewa, will also give a goodwill message in 2 minutes. Okay, his representative, please, in 120 seconds. Thank you.
On behalf of Engineer Kameruddin Bolarewa, I, Imam Adebi Maisuddin, Missioner Nasfat Abeokuta branch, we pray for our governor. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to be with you, guide you, protect you and your family and your household. As we are in the Ramadan, the month of Ramadan, the month of blessing, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to bless you in all endeavors. Bila ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah.
Thank you. And we now invite Alhaji Sharafa Tuji Ishala, the Babadin of Yoruba land, including Edo.
Excellency, the governor of Ogun State, and through me to the good people of Ogun State, we want to congratulate you for the 9th edition of the Ramadan program, the special Iftar, and to say that we are very proud of you as a Muslim. The youth, you are the first Muslim governor in the state, and the Muslim community in Ogun State asked me to say that we are very proud of you and will continue to be proud of you. And it is our prayer that Almighty Allah in His giving mercy will grant you success in this world and in the hereafter. However, Almighty Allah will continue to protect you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. تفارق وربك كم يكفيك ويكفيك تتابع حكيمك من تركي وتذكر
And now we respectfully invite the Chief Judge of Ogun State, Lord Honorable Justice Musumola Dipeolu.
The governor of the state, Senator on behalf of all the other judges of the state, the magistrates, and the staff, I bring felicitation to His Excellency. We thank God for the grace He has given you to lead the state for the past 8 years, and for that which the Lord Almighty has helped you to achieve. We pray that as you wrap up, you will exit gloriously. The Lord Almighty will continue to strengthen you, and as you lead for the Senate, the Lord will grant you more grace to achieve more for Nigeria, for Ogun State, and for the Central Country in particular. for sharing with somewhere. We thank you and your moderation this past year. The Lord will guide you. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, sir. And now we invite the Speaker of the Ogun State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Prince Suraj Ishola Adekunbi.
Your Excellency, our leader, the Deputy Governor of our Free State, Senator Alhaji Dikun Amos, Your Excellency, the First Lady, Deputy Governor, Head of Service, Catholic Chief Judge, Head of Service, our best lecturer, our Imam, distinguished guests, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We thank Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, special edition. We bless God that since inception of administration, we have been coming here to celebrate ourselves, to give thanks to God, identify with ourselves as people of Ogun State during the month of Ramadan. A lot has been said. Mine is just to appreciate from Chief Imam and all the Imams and Afars here seated, the people of Ogun State, all the stakeholders, for your support, your prayer, your perseverance, your understanding since inception of administration. Your cooperation has actually got us this far, and we bless God for granting of us that understanding since the beginning of administration till now. Of course, we have done our business in Ogun State, and we believe that there is still not more to be done. And I just want to enjoy all of us to continue to pray for our states and Nigeria, and to pray for ourselves as well. Because as a matter of fact, we have no place to call our state other than our great state of the state. We want to appreciate you all for your support since day one of our administration till now. Our Baba used to say, I pray to God that our tomorrow will be better than today. And I want to enjoy our Baba to try to pray for us. Because it is your prayer that is keeping us going. Mo fẹ́ jẹ́ ìwà bá wà o, mo kí bàbá gómìnà àti ìyàwó wọn, lẹ́tí gọ́ọ̀nà àti CJ àti mọ́mí wa, adájọ́ àgbà tẹ́lẹ̀ ní àtẹ́tọ̀ service. Mo kí ní pàtàkì jùlọ ẹ̀yin bàbá wa, aṣáájú àbínú ẹ̀sìn, bàbá wa, bàbá àdínì àti gbogbo àwọn olóyè tó wà níkàlẹ̀. Mo kí gbogbo wa gbígbé sàlámù alékún wọ̀rọ̀ ìfọ̀lọ́kàtú. Akú ọdún akú ìlú. Àdẹ̀dúgbẹ́ pé pẹ̀lú olúwa gbogbo amápàdé lọ́dọọdún láti wá ṣe àjọyọ̀ pẹ̀lú ara wa, láti wá ṣe ìtọ́jú olúwa jẹ wá nípa wípé àwa bára wa dúpẹ́ lọ́sí dúpẹ́ ní àṣì. Ẹ̀yìn àgbọ̀n tún dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wa ní o wípé látìgbà tí ìjọba wa ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ gbogbo alájọ ń fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀, gbogbo alájọ ń ṣojúṣe láti rí wípé ìlú wa ń tẹ̀síwájú. Adẹ̀dúgbẹ́ wípé àdúrà yìí àti ìfọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ yìí olùdẹ́gbà níbi tá a dé yìí. Wọ́n á fẹ́ bẹ̀ yí bàbá wa ẹjọ́ ẹtún máa gbàdúrà fún wa. Ẹni pé àtúbọ̀tán òun ló jà bí olùdẹ́gbà ní àtúbọ̀tán tó dára. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And now we invite Her Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Ogun State, Chief Mrs. Yetunde Ololuga.
So together in the last 9 years, 8 years, for the 9th Iftar that we are celebrating. We thank Almighty Allah for sparing all our lives to witness this. Let me use this opportunity to thank all our chief imams, all our imams and our fathers, for all your prayers for us in this state, particularly for this government that is winding down. We thank you that it is only your prayer that has sustained us, and we pray that the Almighty Allah will continue to wait us at our point of need. I pray at this point for all of us that are fasting at this moment, that the Almighty Allah will hear all our supplications, He will listen to all our prayers, and then at the end of this fasting, we will not get all the blessings of time in the mighty name of Allah. I want to take this opportunity to thank all of you for your cooperation, for your support for this administration, and that as we go find out we shall continue to live in peace and coexistence, and the Almighty Allah will continue to make the state greater and greater and greater in the Almighty name of Allah. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you very much. Invite the governor of Ogun State, senators to CONFC to address us tonight. Please be seated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. I also be live in a shaitan rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Mo kí gbogbo àwa tí a jókòó sí bí mo kí gbogbo wa o. Mo kí àwọn bàbá ìmọ̀ mo kí gbogbo àwọn bàbá ìmọ̀ wa o. Ẹ ṣeun ṣeun ṣeun. Àwọn bàbá wa kábíyèsí mo kí o. Gbogbo kí wa ní àsìkò oṣù aláàánú ti Ramadan mo kí wa o. Àwọn kìrìsìtẹ́nì tó jẹ́ pé tá a bá ti ń ṣe báyìí àti ẹ̀ kì í mọ ìyàtọ̀ ẹ̀ gbogbo wa jọ máa ń ṣe ni mo kí gbogbo wa. Mo pẹ̀lẹ́sọ̀ àwọn olóyèdè Abdulrahman títí mọ́ University of Ibadan mo kí yín o. Mo wá kí gbogbo alápapọ̀ gbogbo àwọn àgbààgbà ẹgbẹ́ lóṣèlú tó wà bí mo kí wa o. Àwọn àgbààgbà wa létí ìlú mo kí wa. Ẹ rí i pé mi ò fẹ́ dárúkọ torí tí n bá ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí dárúkọ gbogbo àwọn tí n bá gbé orúkọ ẹ̀ á rí i pé mi ò pé ti àwọn mo kí wa bí a ṣe máa ń kíra wa ní ti mùsùlùmí pé sàlámù alaykum wa rahmatulahi wa barakatuh. First, let me thank the Almighty Allah for bringing us together again to witness this holy month of Ramadan. For us as an administration, and for me particularly, this is a little did we know that time that we are going to have the opportunity to celebrate Ramadan for 9 times. That is strange. This is not a common occurrence. Before it will happen again, at least 20-something years, because it takes, if you look at when we had the last one, and this one is about, I think, about 2.5 weeks or so. So, yeah, clearly you know that it will take at least maybe 20, 22, 23, or 24 years before any administration that will have 2 times will be able to have Ramadan for 9 times. So, Alhamdulillah for His mercies, this month is a holy month, a month when sins are forgiven, a month when prayers are answered, a month in which we should love one another in which we usually, and we are doing it now, depriving ourselves of so many things, not just food alone. So, once again, I want to congratulate all of us for having this, what I call uncommon grace and mercy of the Almighty Allah that made us to witness this 2019 Ramadan. And let me say that since we've been here, since the beginning of our administration in 2011, we have had that grace of Almighty Allah and favor from the Almighty Allah